Technical issues and all. Rich Mitch, I love you. Yeah, buddy! Saab, we love you. Rizzle, we love you. Zhao, we love you. Oh, Yana, we love you too. Mika, Vladimir, Yaboti, Konj Mater. Peroli, Kanger. Finally a stream I can watch. What do you mean by that, Kanger? Don't answer. Rizzer. Flower Girl B2000. Hello. Rich Mitch. Sunday Night Delight. It's been a long time since we've had one of these.
That's right.
But, it's good to see you. I appreciate you. And I was thinking about you today.
Huh.
Well, I think about you quite often. I mean, you're a big part of my life, especially stream life. But I was thinking about, like, what do I like about Rich Mitch? And my answer is, I like you because you're unique and you do your own thing and you don't sway to what everybody else is doing. And you stick to that, you know? And I appreciate that from other YouTubers. I like people that do their own thing and don't really care whether they're, you know, that growth isn't their main thing when they're creating content. And I think that's kind of important.
Yeah. Thank you.
In the sense that I like people that are able to express themselves freely. And I think the content is much more almost real. You know, I like real. And you can see right through content that isn't. And, you know, I'm not gunning for anybody. I think people are free to create and build their channels as they like, whatever which way that be. And it's not even them. It's not even creators. It's the consumers that are gobbling all this shit up, right?
Yeah.
They're more to blame than anybody else. People are only creating what other people want to watch. And this is why I appreciate, you know, having you on. This is why I appreciated guys like Christo coming on here. Guys that, you know, the underdog. I like the small guys, the underdogs that are true to themselves.
Yes. Oh, I understand that. Thank you very much, by the way. You've sort of blindsided us there.
Well, you're welcome. Yeah, we weren't expecting that, but it's kind of what I was thinking about today.
Thank you very much.
You just kind of do your own thing. Our tastes aren't, you know, they're as much different as they are the same. You know, they're probably more different than they are the same, but I think our views and our beliefs are kind of, you know, aligned. We wear perfumes for the same reason, even though our perfumes are very different from each other. So I respect that from you. You don't wear perfume for, you know, external reasons. I think, you know, there's many ways you can wear perfumes. You know, one is internally for yourself and one is for other people. And everybody's free to wear perfume however they like. But you and I wear the perfumes for the exact same reason, I imagine. I don't want to speak for you, but it's like, what are you going to get out of your perfume opposed to, you know, am I going to get noticed or am I going to get complimented or will I be accepted by my peers for this perfume? And that's why I'm really comfortable wearing women's perfume is I don't really care what anybody thinks, regardless of if it smells feminine or not. So let's do a quick scent of the night check. I am in my beloved, and, you know, just falling, you know, deeper and deeper in love with Coco. This is my EDT. I gave my EDP away. I still haven't gotten it back. I haven't been to work since, so I've had to rely on my EDT today, which is just as glorious. I love this. The biggest difference from the EDP is it seems it's a little bit softer. It's pretty much the same perfume, concentrated in a I don't even want to say lower dosage because this is quite strong as it is. But it just feels, you know how we talked about perfumey, L'Instant de Guerlain being perfumey? I find this less perfumey than eau de parfum.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand that. That's it's a good analysis. Today I wore actually when you were talking about women's perfume, today I wore one of the only women's marketed perfumes that I own. And that was Shiseido, the Shiseido version of Femini du Bois. 30 years ago, that would have been, this perfume would have been a definite 100% nailed on female perfume, no doubt about it whatsoever. It's plum, it's sweet, it's a little bit fruity, it's got that sort of like, it's got an like a slightly perfumey aspect to it.
Okay.
But now this would be, if you were to charge 300-400 pounds a bottle for this, no one would bat an eyelid. And it would be unisex, and it would be in a private collect, like a Chanel exclusive, or a Dior Privé, or a Tom Ford private blend. And I absolutely love it. Like, I absolutely love it. I will show you the bottle on camera, because the bottle, I've showed it before, but the bottle is absolutely gorgeous. Like, it's one of the most satisfying bottles to hold in the entire world.
Why do you think that is?
It's just the shape. It's so ergonomic. It just feels so good. Like, even if you had a small hand, like, this would feel so good in the bottle. I think it's the curves, and they're not. It's the dimensions. Like, this curve and this curve aren't, like, obviously, like, this is much shallower than this. This is much deeper curve. But it doesn't matter if you hold it like that or if you hold it like that. It feels amazing in the hand. It's a triumph of design. Whoever designed the bottle absolutely nailed it. Like, Femini du Bois. It felt like I did my fragrance rotation video today, and I was talking about this, and it literally does feel like you're holding someone else. Like if you,
and it looks
like
like
if
they
you,
still took from the cap and then incorporated it into the new bottles. I see a resemblance. It's just less ergonomic now than it used to be.
yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Like, I absolutely love it.
It's interesting, when you first started talking about that a few months ago, the plum note really stood out to me, and I've never smelt that, but that's what I get here. The majority of this is plum. Like, over everything else, there's a ton going on here, but at the end of the day, this to me is a very plummy perfume, a fruity, plummy fragrance, and there's almost gourmand aspects to it, which I don't hear a lot of people talk about. They say Mugler's Angel was the first gourmand perfume, but I'd say, take a look at this. If you want to talk about like semi-gourmands or sweet perfumes, this is a good shout. And it's done right, it's balanced very well.
Yeah. I really like the way this is blended. It's absolutely, it's a total triumph. It's Femini du Bois. I think it's one of Sheldrake's first perfumes.
Right.
If it is indeed a Sheldrake. I haven't looked it up. I'm going to do a comparison, because I've got the Serge Luton ones as well. So I'm going to do a comparison between the two and see what comes out like.
I put on a sweater because I was like freezing cold, and then I shut the door, and now I'm warm again. I got to open the door.
Is it cold? Is it hot? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
But no, Mike V, this is not my ghee.
My ghee.
So you got your Matiere perfumes, or whatever they're called, Matiere Premiere.
That's right, I did.
What are you expecting from these?
I'm not expecting a lot after what you said the other day. I'm a little bit skeptical. So I'm thinking, from what you've said, they're going to be amber woods. They're going to be recognizable synthetic chemicals that I've smelled. Sorry?
Later that night after the stream, I was kind of going over them again. They felt, I don't know who the perfumer is. I'm not familiar with him or the brand, but they felt like something that just comes off a shelf, just very generic and very in line with what's going on today.
Yeah. somebody who's starting a new brand and they are wanting to get it off the ground. You know, they're wanting to make it popular. They're wanting to
like there's nothing wrong with them. They smell pretty good. I just, for my taste, don't find them very interesting. They feel like they're blended quite nicely and they have some nice transitions, but they're lacking something. They lack a little bit of depth. They lack a little bit of interest, but we'll get to those. We'll get to those.
Interesting.
Getting Jedi on Tatooine vibes. I don't know who that is. Where is it from? My sweater is a Banana Republic. I love Banana Republic just because it's very casual, and I'm casual. But I don't know who Tatooine is. Do you know who that is, Rich? Is that like an
asking about sort of like pop culture or fashion? Just straight over my head. Absolutely hopeless I am.
I took my kids shopping the other day. I wanted to buy them, to get an early start on clothes for Christmas because I'm the type of guy that usually waits like the last minute. Like I'll wait Christmas Eve, and I wanted to get my nice shirts and a nice sweater over top. And I picked out some clothes for them, and they come out of the change room and they're like, "We can't wear this. This is too." They called it pleb, and I was like, "What do you mean? What like pleb?" What, there's nothing wrong with these outfits. They're actually very gentlemanly, but it just doesn't fit or suit the style of young lads today. They want something more sporty.
Yeah. No, I understand that. You've got to take their sort of their word for it as well, because they're the ones who have got to deal. Like, I wouldn't like to go back to being that age and having to deal with the whole peer pressure and having to fit in at school and stuff like that. Like, just sort of like rely on them,
Yeah, we'll definitely never force them into something they're not comfortable with, but I can definitely be there to open their eyes to new things. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
And let them decide whether they want to go with it or not.
Yes, that's a good call. I think.
Have you received your signature tabak yet?
No.
Zaharov.
I have not. It should be coming. It should be coming this week. I'm hoping for a couple of new arrivals this week.
First official wearing gorgeous scent. Yeah, I'm excited for mine too. I'm obsessed with the packaging, the whole design, the Art Deco work. It looks beautiful. We got NC in 31 Rue Cambon EDT. Love that. I am not familiar, Taffy J, with whatever it is you seem to be wearing. Do you know this, Rich? L'artisan. I don't even want to.
L'artisan Boucles de Provence. I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it. But if Taffy's wearing it, it's probably pretty sound. If Taffy's wearing it, she knows her stuff. Taffy should start a channel.
Yeah. You know what? I gotta say, I think a lot of my viewers are more knowledgeable than most YouTubers. Like, I learn more from them than other YouTubers.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, absolutely. There are some people who, in the comments, who stand out as people who should have a channel.
Yeah. There's you and I talked about this, and there's definitely two viewers I'd love to see come on here sometime. One is Denby, and the other is Yura Rose. Both very knowledgeable and very passionate.
Yes, that's right.
If you guys are ever interested or free to come on, we'd love to chat with you. We got Zhao in Ensemble Suave. All right.
That's by Matiere, right? Sorry?
You have a sample of Ensemble Suave?
I do not know. I only got the 3. I got Santal, Austral, I got Rose, Radical Rose, and I got Falcon Leather. And that was enough.
Bois de Ben. I don't have the Santal. I have Bois de Ben and Falcon Leather.
All right. I thought you had the Santal one. Did you get one of them for free?
Sorry? Yeah. I got the Bois de Ben for free.
Do you know, I paid for all 3 of mine and didn't get anything for free. The shit houses.
They should have sent you a freebie. At least when you're a snob, you don't waste your money on trendy bull. You know what? That's a good point, but it's not necessarily true because I buy just as much shit that I don't like then as I do like, and that's just kind of for me almost like a lack of good perfume out there or things that interest me.
Yeah.
Denby's and Zing, I loved Zing.
Zing. Yeah, I think I got a sample of that off someone. I know I got a sample of the vintage Timbuktu, and I really enjoyed that. A little bit strange.
It's got that nice mango and incense, right?
Yeah, it's so strange. It's like Duchefort, one of Duchefort's best. That, which is saying something.
It's always been a popular choice, going way back when. People have loved that one.
Yeah, I also got a vintage. Like I say, a vintage. I got an older. I beg your pardon. I got an older sample of Tea for Two.
Right.
Off another commenter who I think should start a channel, Brad Scott. He's been around for years. He's been around for much longer than most reviewers.
Right.
And he sent me like an older and like a good sized older sample of Tea for Two, and that's really nice as well.
Did he not have a channel at one point or
uploading? Yes, and then he stopped. And
we're going back.
Yeah, I've been hassling him. Yeah, because he lives within like an hour of me, which, if you consider the global nature of the global nature of like the fragrance community, having someone within an hour of you is pretty good, you know.
Right.
So I was like, we should definitely like meet up and like do stuff. Maybe when like the pandemic's calmed down. Found out today as well. One of my friends, he's a little bit older than I am, has been in hospital for 2 weeks with coronavirus. Nearly killed him. He was in a room with 3 other people, and they all died.
No shit.
Yeah, and he was like, "Fuck this." Ended up discharging himself from the hospital. He's got an oxygen tank at home.
Was he allowed to? Are you allowed to do something like that when you have the virus?
They cannot. Well, I mean, he didn't have the virus anymore. He was clear of the virus. It was like the damage the virus had caused. That's why he's still fucked.
Right.
So he was COVID free, but like his lungs are shot to shit. So he's like, yeah, I know. I was absolutely fucking like, what? I was shocked to fuck.
So let me ask you: has he been like poked?
No.
Oh, really?
No, right. He hasn't had the vaccine at all. He was adamant he wasn't going to have it. I asked him straight, do you regret not having it? And he was like, no. And I said, okay. I was like, would you have it now? And he said, yes.
Well, what's the point now? He's already caught in it. His body gets a chance to learn it.
You can get it again. You can get it again. The way it was explained to him in the hospital was, if he gets it again, he's dead, and he's dead probably within 24 hours if he gets it again, because of the damage that
heals from it.
Sorry.
Even if he let's say he gets it in 3 months when he's fully healed, they're telling him.
They're saying that it's like permanent lung, like you don't like fully heal from it. Plus he's a smoker as well. He smoked heavily, like for 40 years.
So he's not taking care of himself. So, but if he does the vaccine, it'll save his life.
No, not necessarily, but it'll give him a better chance. So it's one of those things. It's not a 100% thing. But he's had it now, and it's done loads of damage to him. And it scared me, that I won't lie to you. I've had all 3 of mine. I've had 2 jabs and a booster, and I'm still shit scared of it. Like,
really?
I think, do you know what it is though? I was talking to somebody else about it the other day, because Austria have started mandating people like that. You've got to have it. I think that's terrible. I think that's absolutely outrageous. Like, that should not be allowed.
If they catch you outside of your house.
Yeah, it's fucking scandalous that shouldn't be allowed. Mind you, Austria is the country that gave us Joseph Fritzl and Adolf Hitler. So, I mean, you know. I hate to tar the country because of like 2 deranged people, but I mean, what the fuck? You can't be doing that, man. Surely, You can't make people have it. And I say that as somebody who's had like 3 jabs. It shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't be allowed. You should not be able to get away with that.
I don't think the government or anybody has that type of jurisdiction over our bodies, and
totally agree.
And just be giving themselves away like that.
Totally agree. Totally agree. You shouldn't be forcing anybody to have a fucking vaccine of any kind. You should try and convince them. You should try and persuade them and tell them, look, this is why you should have it. This is why this is like, I would do that. But at the point of fucking thing is saying like, you must have it. You cannot do that. And you should not do that. And it is wrong. It's fucking scam. It's too far. It's too far.
I agree. Santal 33.
Santal 33. I wonder how far behind in the comments you are.
They're calling Zing a modern masterpiece. Yeah, they're really tightening down here as well. You're not allowed to the theater. You're not allowed to get on a plane. You're not allowed to sit in a restaurant without, unless you're complying. So it's getting a little bit weird. And I don't know,
Do you feel like they're encroaching on you, like they're coming to get you?
Well, I don't have any of my shots, I'll be honest with you. And I don't plan on getting any, like, unless something drastic happens. But at the same time, if somebody does, like, nobody in my family has any of their shots, in my immediate family. And, if my kids came to me and said, we want to get our shots, I'd be like, yeah, go ahead. I'll take you. I'll drive you if that's what you want. You're old enough to choose for yourself. I don't have mine. Yeah, they're definitely coming down on me at work. They want me to, start traveling again, and they want to send me places, but I'm unable to go now because this is kind of, it's tightened things up.
Well, that's handy. You know what I mean? Not having your vaccine, so you don't have to go anywhere for work.
Do about it, and there's, I'm not gonna get. It's not gonna make me anxious or worry, or it's just something I got to deal with.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they said it's either take a vaccine or go find another job. It's something I'd have to think about. I know a lot of people have had to face that as well. So there's some tough decisions to be made. I think they're only going to make it tougher going forward.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. This person is the closest person to me who's had it and had it bad. Like if he died, I'd have been devastated. Right. And if he dies from the complications or from in the near future from it, I'll be gutted. Absolutely devastated. Like, so yeah. It does sort of affect you, even though I've had mine. It does sort of affect you when you see people close to you actually getting it and like suffering with it, because he was adamant. Like he was like, I'm not having that fucking vaccine at all. Like he was like, it's been done too quickly. I don't like the sound of it. I don't like the look of it. I don't know anyone who's had it, and I don't know anyone who's had it really badly. And then he fucking catches it, and he's like, it's completely fucked him. Like his last was like fucking, like his wife was like, what the fuck? Like panicking, severely panicking, like my husband's gonna die sort of thing. So I worry about him. Yes, I'd just like to say hello to Peter Kokorin as well. Peter Kokorin is a legend. He sent me a 4 milliliter sample of Sycamore Eau de Toilette because I'm deciding whether to get the Eau de Parfum or try and wait out for the Eau de Toilette. And I hadn't smelled the Eau de Toilette, so this has helped massively. I'm still testing it, and I want to test one against the other, which means a trip to the shops to catch it. Certainly not to catch it. To try and smell the Eau de Parfum.
So, can you comment on either concentration? Do you have a preference?
Oh, I'd like to smell them next to each other, but at the minute, from what I've smelled from the first, I think the eau de toilette, but I mean by 1%. Like, I wouldn't pay over the odds for the eau de toilette. If it comes down to it and I've got to get the eau de parfum, I'll just get the eau de parfum. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I would have no problem with doing that either. Like, I wouldn't lie awake at night thinking, oh, I've got to find the eau de toilette. What have I done?
So I've actually had a bottle of the eau de toilette and I've worn it many times and I struggle to appreciate it just for the fact that I had a hard time smelling it. And
Right.
I like, you know, skin scents, soft perfumes, and that's what it felt like to me. And even as a skin scent, I really struggled with it and I eventually just sold my bottle. And when I picked up the EDP, yeah, it's probably not as complex, but I don't think it's lacking anything really. I think they kind of they do start to smell very similar after a little bit, but I find the EDP works much better for me, and I have no regrets.
I find there's at the beginning there's a lightness about the eau de toilette. There's a freshness that there isn't there in the eau de parfum. The thing is that I don't have any eau de parfum on hand to like test at home. So if I want to test the eau de parfum, right, I've got to go to the shop, spray it on, right, and then I've got to put the eau de toilette on as well at the same time, so I can go from one arm to the other arm to see how they are at the same. Do you know what I mean? Right. So that's what I'm gonna have to do. I might see if I can find.
When two perfumes are that similar, I kind of lose track of them.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up.
Yeah, it's a difference between hair and fur. Yeah, it's a difference between hair and fur. It's very similar.
So there's some chat in the chat about Le Lion being reformulated. I can't believe that. I don't know if this is serious or not. I
think they're taking the piss.
Yeah, it sounds kind of goofy to me for this to be reformulated already. But if there's if there's talk about it, there might be some truth. I don't know.
I think it's Heinz being a rascal. Heinz, you're scaring Eugene. Stop it.
I'm not worried. I got a bottle that'll last me for life. It's such a powerful perfume.
Yeah, it's you got the 200 ml as well, didn't you?
I did. But that's something I would back up.
Okay.
There's Peter. What's up, Peter?
Eugene is fit. No, I read it in the chat. Jeremy Hines read it in the chat. Eugene's about 15 minutes behind on the comments.
That's impossible.
Yeah, usually behind on the comments. I was
only kidding about Santal being my favorite. I don't know if I have a favorite Le Labo. That sounds really strange to me. I recommend. I know there's going to be all sorts of opinions and people trying to convince me or persuade me or dissuade me from getting. You know what? I don't really care.
Yeah, I was going to say, just make your own mind up. In the end, it's your body, it's your life, it's your fucking thing. You make your own mind up.
And here I am going around touching everything. Like, I want to catch this crap, right?
Yeah. So you want to like
all the fucking pulls and door handles that I can. Why can't I catch this? I've never had a flu shot in my life. Do you know that? And I haven't had
I haven't either.
15 years. I can't remember last time I can't remember last time I've been sick.
Yeah. That's
there might be some truth here, Mike V. If they kick me out of Holtz, I just might go and get my jab.
Calamity Chris says it's not just your body though, it affects others. I was talking about the vaccine rather than the effects of the disease. I do understand the ins and outs of it.
Others, you know, when I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
I don't want to go there because it's going to cause a lot of controversy.
Yes, we don't like controversy on this channel. We like perfume.
No, I mean, but this is a different kind of controversy.
All right. No, I understand. No, I get what you're saying. I wasn't being sarcastic there. I've had mine. I would have been, I must admit, if I wasn't on the type of medication that I am I'm on which affects your immune system. I am on medication which suppresses your immune system, which like makes it weaker, right? If I wasn't on that, I may have thought more carefully about having the vaccine. But the fact that I was on that medication, I was like, get me to the front of the car. I was bowling old people out the way. I was like, get out of my way and get this vaccine in me as soon as humanly possible. Because
well, you
at
were
this
one of
point,
the first, weren't you?
yeah, I was, because I'm on that type of medication. It's an immunosuppressant, and it was made very clear to me and explained, and I understood it as well, that I would become deathly ill and possibly die if I did not have this form. Like, gave myself every chance. There was also a thing in this country called shielding, which was for people who were really ill, and they had to stay in the house during the pandemic. That was the advice given to them. Don't go out, don't leave. We'll bring food to your house. So I was part of that as well because I'm on that type of medication. So yes, that's it. It was strange. What's Denby saying? Let's stay away from the contentious topic of vaccine medications and go back to our comfort zone. That smells like anal secretions and trashing Demishi. I see Anoush Patel in the chat on Shantae. Yes. Anoush is in the chat. I've just seen Anoush. Anoush Patel. That's Enchanté.
Oh.
I don't know if I should have said that. But yes, hello. This is the legend, the man, the myth, the legend.
I don't see his comment, but hello, Anoush.
It's because
I'll be coming for you in the next couple of days.
Yes, that's right.
He's got some stuff that I've got my eye on.
He has, yes, that's right. He's got some stuff I've got my eye on as well. Even after all the massive hauls, I still want more. He has just sent me something absolutely outrageous, pictures of something absolutely mental. I'm going to send it to you. I don't know if I should send it now or after the stream, but honestly, you'll shit your pants when you see it. It's fucking amazing. Wait, I'll send you it now. Let's get your immediate reaction and see what you think.
Why don't you just show it? Like,
I can't. It's a picture.
Okay.
Hold on. You might be able to send
it. Am
it.
I supposed to show it?
You can show it if you want, yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I've never seen one of these before.
That is a 1970s Guerlain Vetiver.
It looks like a Christmas decoration, like a bulb.
Yes, it's got that thick. It's not a patina. It's like what they put on porcelain to paint it. Oh, fucking, I can't remember. It's painted thick, put it like that. I just need to find me back scratcher.
Can you tell us what you wore today?
Wait, I did. I wore Family du Bois.
Okay, that's right. All right, let's get into these samples. I'm really curious about your thoughts on these.
Okay. It was 2 seconds while I found me back scratcher. Because it's gone missing and I'm fucking devastated. Where is it? Hold on. 2 seconds. Got it. Oh. Honestly, this is one of my prized possessions as well, along with the Coros Factice. Coros Factice and my back scratcher. Absolutely love them. I have love for my inanimate object. Okay, so back to the chat. Let's see what's happening. So, of these 3 samples, I have Santal Austral. I have Radical Rose, and I have Falcon Leather. Which one should I try first?
Let's go with Falcon Leather.
Okay, right. So this is the first time even opening it.
Are you putting it on skin or paper?
I'll put it on. What do you think I should do first? I'll do paper, then skin, shall I?
Sure.
Okay, give us a second. I've got some blotters now.
Maybe
Would
we
you
should
believe?
get Xiao on here.
Ooh. See, Xiao's instant reaction to me slating them. I haven't smelled them yet, so I don't know. I might like them. I'm just scared I won't after what you said. Let's have a look. Right. Sorry?
I'll spray some on too.
Okay. Right. Put it on your back scratcher. Well, I'm not doing that. If I don't like it, I'll come to resent me back scratcher, and we can't have that. Right. Okay. So first time smelling it. Sweet. Got a touch of promise about it.
I smell like a tanning dye.
That's incredibly sweet. It's got that synthetic chemical in that smells like it's not amber woods, it's oh, what is it? It's the dry one. I got an impression of promise. As soon as I sprayed it, I thought that smells a bit like promise, and then it died off straight away.
I get paint remover.
No, I don't get paint remover. Actually, no, it does smell a little bit like varnish, like Bow Makers. You know Bow Makers by DS and Durga?
No.
That's got a varnish note in it. It gives me a headache. Like,
yeah, it almost smells like Norlimbinol.
I don't know what Norlimbinol smells like.
It's that synthetic use for oud.
Yeah, I can imagine that. It's got farnesol. It's got the ingredients on the back. Fragrance, parfum, water, linalool, limonene, BHT. I thought that was a date rape drug. Farnesol, benzyl cinnamate, and benzyl benzoate.
None of that means anything to me.
No, it doesn't mean anything to me either. I just thought someone in the chat might have thought. No, I'm not a fan of this.
Why not? First time smelling it?
Yeah, it's the first time smelling it. On paper. It's not very dark.
Is it interesting?
No.
Is it
smells like it smells like no, it's not original or interesting in my opinion. It smells like something you would smell in a department store in what they would call their niche line. You know,
almost like a beginner line.
Yeah, like something that like they would, you know, if somebody who wasn't into perfume was to walk into an apartment store and they said, I don't want to smell like Eros anymore.
Right.
I want something. I want some. Yeah, I want to spend a bit more money, and I want to smell pleasant, and I want to smell, and I want to smell like a bit more expensive, and I want a better. I want to be able to tell people. I want to be able to tell people that I'm wearing something that they've never heard of before.
You know what it reminds me of is Acqua di Parma's dark line. You know, the oud that they have in the leather. It smells like
this isn't as dark. That to me, this isn't dark. To me, this isn't dark. This may say something about the collection that I've got. To me, this isn't dark at all. This is quite light. On paper, this is extremely light. It's got it's like when I say light, it's like fresh, like it's new.
I don't get fresh from it.
No, I don't mean like citruses and stuff like that. I get like a new sort of smell about it. like it smells like it's been cleaned with something.
Yeah, I get that new car interior from it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It
It's got a
almost
new
seems
car.
like it's derived from Tuscan leather, just, washed out many times over.
It's as if, right? It's as if, right? You have bought a brand new car. You've bought a brand new car, and you've got into it. And the first time you've got into it, you've started eating a packet of Haribo, right? And
Mm.
it's like it's got that sweet synthetic sweet, and you've dressed nicely for it. You've like put on your favorite jeans to go and pick it up. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It's got that sort of vibe, but I'm not impressed, I must admit. I might put it on my I might put it on my I might put it on my skin after I've tried the other two. I've only got limited amount of skin tonight. I sprayed a couple of things on my hands earlier.
Limited amount of skin, right?
Yeah.
All
I've
right,
got a
try
limited
the other
amount.
ones. Let us know what you think of the other ones.
Okay, give us 2 seconds. I'll have a drink. Okay then. So next we will try Radical Rose, because Santal Austral is in a different box. These are black and white, and Santal Austral is in an all white box. So maybe he's going to go with the whole I used real sandalwood vibe, you know.
I would say there's birch in here, or there's an accord of birch.
You birch you.
Something's, it's dry and smoky. Not really
Oh,
sticky though.
there's something dry. There's something dry about it, definitely, but I wouldn't say it's birch. Don't try it, Rich. Falcon leather got me 5 comments before I even left the house, and I live by myself. Well said, Rudy. Give us 2 seconds, right? So this is Radical Rose. Where are we? I'm using these. Ramsey sent me a link to. Did you see those blotters? Did I send you the link to those blotters?
No.
Apparently they're the best blotters in the world.
Come on. Are they niche blotters?
I'm just telling you what he told us. Apparently they are the best blotters in the entire world.
Outrageous.
Outrageous. That's what I thought. I thought he got like 100,000 for $100 or something silly like
Wow.
that. Right, Radical Rose. Straight away, I'm getting a touch of Portrait of a Lady. Very sweet, medicinal. There was like a clovey sort of
Sugary sweet.
Yeah. Rosy sweet, like rosy sugar.
Is it a picture perfect rose, or
Don't be deaf. No.
is rose oil?
It's got a spicy. It's got a little bit of spice. It smells like a synthetic sort of clove. If you can imagine Portrait of a Lady, but about 40% less good.
That's a lot less good.
It is a lot less good. It's not as good. But I'll tell you what, that I don't know whether it's because it's not promised as much as the Falcon leather, because I mean you hear the word Falcon leather and you think to yourself that sounds like it's going to be badass. That sounds like it's going to be like something that comes off and just like rips your shoulder off or something like that, you know.
Right. Absolutely.
Whereas this is, I can imagine this doing really well with like women in their 20s, in their mid to late 20s
that are just getting in the niche.
No, yes. This is entry level niche. From the two that I've smelled so far, this is like a step up from like your designer dross. But it is literally a step up from your designer dross. Like you walk into a department store and you say, "Oh yes, I would like to spend a bit more money. These are what these are." And this isn't something that I wouldn't spend money on this, because I could think of 1,000 other perfumes I would rather buy before I'd buy any of this.
Stefan finds it similar to Rose d'Arabie and Oud Satin Mood.
I sort of get the Oud Satin Mood comparison because I because it's got that synthetic rose, that sort of sweet freshness. Again, there's a sweet, pleasant, pleasing freshness about it.
Rudy's saying that it won an award.
Oh, fuck off.
If it won an award, Rich, what would it be called? What would the award be called?
Come in and let us take your money, new person. The newbie's choice.
Newbie Choice Awards.
The Newbie Choice Award.
Do you think you're being too critical?
No, I don't. I would be very surprised if anybody who had much experience of rose perfumes or leather perfumes really highly rated these and actually bought them. Very expensive synthetic perfumes.
Do you find they have depth?
A little bit. And I mean a little bit of depth. Again, a step down from how much depth a designer perfume has. These are as close to being neat designer perfumes as a niche house can get.
I fully agree. I just find them not very interesting, like at all.
Like it's
I've got Bois d'Eben here. I'm gonna spray this.
Okay, you do that and you tell, and then we'll move on to my last one, the Santal Austral.
Oh, we got a super chat.
All right, how nice.
Making sense, Mike. Help Rich Mitch and making sense. Oh, CEO comments. CEO comments.
You know, I cannot see Making Sense's comments anywhere, and he can't see mine, and I don't know why. If I blocked him,
the highlighted super chat,
I see the highlighted super chat, but I don't see it in the chat because I'm actually texting Enchanté at the second. But when I come back on the chat, I'll see if it's there, but I can see it on screen now. I don't know why. If I'd blocked him, I would say I'd blocked him.
Right. Well,
like,
I can't imagine anybody blocking Mike. That would be outrageous, right? He's like one of the nicest guys around. I can't help you. I have no idea.
I have not blocked Michael Dinho. It's unthinkable. It's outrageous. I haven't done it. I don't know what's happening.
Spy and Mash asking, are they better than Montal? And I'll say slightly, but not much.
I'd say there was slightly, but not much. Yeah,
to me.
It has got it's like a complex Montal. You know, it's like the complex Montal. Like if Pierre Montal learned how to blend, this is what it would smell like. I've said this for years. Pierre Montal can't blend. He puts 3 different ingredients into a perfume and then says bang.
Well, it's usually rose, leather, and something else, like an alternative.
Yeah.
But these use the same very large molecules that Montal use. Very big and empty.
Yeah.
And this Bois smells green to me. I get some kind of sandalwood, some kind of figgy, fruity, green sandalwood. Very soft, creamy, warm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice, but it's not very interesting.
I can't see that super chat on the in the chat. That's outrageous. It's disgusting. Can't believe what's happening. Might have to start a new account. Just start a new channel so I can see his chat. This is disgusting behavior. I'm appalled. Oh shit! Sorry, I'm just getting text messages. I'll send you that. That's outrageous. I'm just going to go to the bathroom. Hold the fort.
Can I talk more about my fasting routine? Certainly, and I wouldn't recommend fasting to anybody. Go see your doctor. I don't want to be responsible, but I try and fast. I first started with one full day, and it was kind of hard in the beginning. Obviously, I love food, and you can tell it shows, right? But it works for me. It's always worked, and I would start with one day, and then I would push it to 2 days, so 48 hours, and I would try and throw a jog in there. Sometimes I'll do once a week for sure, 48 hours, and sometimes I'll try and push twice a week. It's much difficult twice a week, especially when I have kids here on the weekend, and I got to feed them and make sure they're fed and they feel good. And when there's food around, everything gets harder. But that's what I do. At least 148 hour fast where I drink just black coffee and water, no food, no sugar, anything. Maybe a tea, black tea. And like that, I try and jog or go for a 10-kilometer run 3 times a week at least. I want to go tonight. It's really ugly outside. It's dark and it's cold and it's chilly and it's spitting. But I think even after this stream, I'm going to make a serious effort to go for a 10K. And just doing that, from the start of summer, I've lost. It's been a while since I've weighed myself so 35 pounds for sure, if not maybe 40. So it's definitely something that's been working for me. And I've honestly been on a diet my whole entire life. I've always watched or try to be conscious of losing weight, and nothing's ever really worked for me. Even going to the gym, like lifting heavy weights. Lifting heavy weights doesn't matter unless you watch your diet. I think diet is, it's 90% of trying to of cutting weight is diet. But I don't recommend you do 48 hours. It's not easy. Start slow. Start 12 hours. Start 18 hours. And build up your tolerance. I don't take lunches to work ever. I don't eat breakfast. So every single day I go. My routine is no breakfast, no lunch, and if I do eat, it'll be in the evening. So I'm intermittent fasting pretty much all day, every day, all week long. And so it's really, I'm just, when I go 48 hours, it's just me cutting out my dinner, basically. That's all it is. And I've gone years without breakfast, lunch, or an evening dinner.
Oh.
Get close. I can't get any closer. The mic is right. Like it's literally right under my face. I don't know if I'm using it properly, though.
What are you talking about? What's under your face?
The mic. Is it too? Am I too soft? Is it too low?
I don't know. It's fine. I can hear it just fine.
No, and this, I mean, if somebody likes these, by all means, continue to like them and wear them. They're just so different from the things that I like. Like, they feel different to my beloved Chanel's and Guerlains, and you know what they feel like, Rich? These perfumes, like they don't have much to say.
Yeah, they do feel a little hollow to me.
That's kind of what I was, talking about coming into this stream is like, I enjoy you because you're unique and you do your own thing. And I feel like this is one of those things that is lacking uniqueness.
Yeah,
these definitely don't smell original to me.
No, I'm getting the smokier aspect from the Falcon leather now, but it's not. I mean, if I wanted to wear a leather like this, I would wear Mona Diorio's Queer, which is infinitely better. This is not. Not good. If you like it though, if someone else likes it, right? Like it and wear it and enjoy it. Be happy. You don't need me or Eugene or anyone else to tell you what you like.
And the same way, I wear a ton of shit that not a lot of people will wear either, and it matters very little to me, if anything. Like,
yeah. Are you there? Oh no. I think he's frozen. Eugene is frozen and left me alone with you people. Oh my god. What is happening? Oh well. We'll just have to crack on. I can see Mr. Calvin's dropped a super chat. Do you think Dunkel will pass you in subscribers? Almost certainly, yes. The Falcon has come. The Falcon got Eugene, that's right. Aurelien Gouchard has done a dance and got Eugene out. He's paused him, he's turned him to glass. He needs a burger. That's right, Catherine, he needs a burger. He froze before a rant. Oh, what's happening? He's doing something. I'm here by myself now. Everyone is absolutely howling at this. This is but I'm in nosebleed territory here. I'm with 110 people and I don't know what to do. I've barely got 110 subscribers. I don't know. Should we try the Santal while he's not here? No, we shouldn't do that. That's not fair. The wheel is spinning. If he wants to come back at any point, that would be nice.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, but hey, he's back. Hello.
What happened there? What happened? I just saw like the rotating circle like spinning around. I'm like, oh shit. It wouldn't be the first time I was locked out of my own stream. Do you remember when Daniel was on one time and he took over?
That's right.
We ran out of power. Like the power went out and I got kicked out of my own stream. Like I could watch him on my cell phone using my data. But there was a time where you weren't able to access StreamYard using a cell phone. It was PC or laptop only, and I couldn't get back on. And he just, I just sent him a text. I was like, as long as you're enjoying yourself, by all means, take over and just keep talking. He likes to talk, right? He's a good speaker. And
he is a good speaker.
So I had no problem with that. And there's nothing I could do anyway. He could have totally ransacked my channel. I couldn't do anything about it.
It's a good thing he's a good lad. Ooh, Catherine got a vintage of something. I got a vintage Edmund Rudnitska Ocean Rain by Maria Valentina perfumes. That's interesting.
Rudy says, I would put them next to Celine, but Nowhere Close is good. And I would completely agree with Nowhere Close is good. To me, Celine, they're nothing crazy, but they're very well made and they're wearable. They to me are daily drivers. I don't always want to wear something outrageous or completely mental. Yeah. Not every day is a gross day. There's days where, like you and I spoke about this, there's a lot of great perfumes out there, but are they wearable?
Yes, that's right. We did talk about this. There are some days I wake up and I look at some of my perfumes and I just think to myself, there's absolutely no way I could wear that today.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of perfumes I've got where I sit and think to myself, there's no way I could wear that full stop.
Yeah.
Right. I like to think though that do you know what I find that with? You know what I really struggle with wearing?
What's that?
Right? Heavy incense perfumes.
I'm a big fan of incense perfumes. Like I love them.
I love them. I love them abstractly, but to wear one, just very, very difficult. I find it's something that I would like to change. Something I'd like to work on. Have you frozen again? No, thank God.
I'm right here. I can still see my StreamYard thing is spinning.
Struggle with Lawn Vol, yeah. Anything that anything that's too like incense, like the most incense like centric perfume I've got is Incense Rose by Tower, and that is it's fucking dry as fuck. It dries your throat out like. I see Nisco Vich has just said my Integra Type R is a daily driver. I used to have one of them. I had to sell it when my back went. One of the best probably the best driving experience I've ever had is an Integra Type R. Absolutely unbelievably good car. Do not own one if you have any ailment at all, because it will shake you to shit. But I reckon it's part of the reason why my back is so bad is because I owned that car. But I drove that thing like it deserved to be driven. I'd give it a right beating. The thing is, it would always snap back at you.
Rose is talking about Pierre Bourdon overdosing dihydromercenol, and from the little that I know about dihydromercenol, it's a fresh thing, and I find it most noticeable in Diptyque's Eau de Mint.
Okay.
I'm not sure which Pierre Bourdons he's talking about, but I'd love to know that he's dosing this dihydromercenol just to get a better, just to get clarity on what that compound really is.
It's the big one that's in dihydromercenol is the big one that's in Green Irish Tweed and Cool Water.
Right.
So if you imagine what those two are like it's got that fresh sort of like slightly sweet, slightly ozonic, slightly salty sort of vibe about it. Millésime Imperial as well. Yes, Fosco. That's right. Cool Water, Green Irish Tweed. Yeah. People are talking about incense. Emilios Man says the best, most authentic Orthodox church smells that is identical is Boadicea Prosperous. See, I never went to church as like a kid. And I'm not Catholic.
Ever burned incense in your house?
No, we never did incense in the house. It was nothing like that ever. Incense is I'm very late coming to incense. Like I literally never smelled like incense until I was in my mid-20s, if not later. Just not into it.
My favorite church incense is Gucci's Midnight Stroll. Very resinous, very balsamic. I think it really captures that dry church aspect better than Comme des Garçons Avignon.
Really? Mm-hmm. I know that's a big one. I like the
You like Kouros for incense?
No, I'm just saying that because Praskufka Omina wanted to say it. So there's me big Kouros. It looms. It's a big haunting beast. Love it. It's one of my prized possessions that I cuddle it at night. It's like my teddy bear.
Mr. Calvin with the super chat asking if Duncan will pass you in subs. I imagine a lot of people will pass me in subscribers, but that's the beauty of it. I'm okay with that.
Do you know what I found in my sort of things? A lot of people go on about subscribers. Do you know what I like most about having a channel?
What's that?
It's the interaction.
Right.
I like the interaction rather than I've got like 500 subscribers and I'd be fine with that. And the people who I interact with are proper sound.
Right.
Like the people who comment on my videos are proper sound as fuck, and I enjoy talking to them about stuff. Yeah. So I like. Sorry about that.
What? You connect with them.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. It's like
you have the same taste and you have a lot in common with them. There's definitely a formula to grow your channel. If somebody wanted to, they could start today, and by this time next year, they could they could pass me in subscribers. And all the best to them if that's what their goal is. To me, that's not my goal. My goal is exactly what you had just stated: is to grow a little community here with like-minded people that enjoy the same things. They don't necessarily need to be the same perfumes, but like we said earlier, I appreciate you, Rich, for your uniqueness, and our
Yes.
tastes are almost as different as they are the same. But
Yes.
a lot of our beliefs are much aligned, and that's what I enjoy. To me, it's
Yes.
not about as growing as fast as I possibly can, but it's connecting with like-minded people.
Yeah. I would rather be happy than
Right.
be whatever it is these people are. You see a lot of these larger channels, and they don't look happy when they're making their videos. They don't sound happy.
Well, it seems like a lot of them are forced into making content just for keeping up to date. And that's another thing that I don't do. I'll release something when I feel like it and when I'm inspired. I don't have a schedule that I need to release one video or 2 videos a week or 3 videos.
Yes.
You and I, if we stream, it's like we find out literally 30 minutes beforehand. We kind of have a discussion.
Tonight, right, is honestly some of the longest notice you've ever given us about doing a stream. Literally, it was like 2 or 3 hours before we were going to go live.
Right.
Rarely people will notice this as well. Rarely will you get like a half an hour heads up, because you don't set up the stream like at least half an hour in advance, so they don't get the notification. It's usually just we're doing a stream in 10 minutes.
Right.
You know what I mean? A while ago, people were saying, "Oh, we're not getting the notifications for the streams," and what they meant was, what YouTube does is it sends out a notification about a stream about to start in half an hour. So you've got to like plan the stream half an hour in advance, and that just isn't how we roll.
Right. Having a high subscriber base is nice. Who wouldn't want a ton of subscribers? But that's not the aim. That's definitely not the goal.
Do you know what it is? As long as they were the right, I would rather have the right subscribers than the most subscribers. And I'm happy to grow really slowly. For that to happen, that's sound by me. I'm surprised I've grown as fast as I have. Like I get like 100, and I think on my analytics, I've just found out how to use the analytics as well. Not that I like I've not like the analytics. I get the summary, and that's about as far as I'm willing to go. And it's like, oh, you've gained like 128 subscribers this month, and I'm like, what? I think I'm pretty chuffed with that. Like, if I could keep that up, like, I'd be fucking delighted. Like, but I saw Ashton the other day. Ashton just cleared like 200,000 subscribers, and then like 3 or 4 days later, he's got like 203,000 subscribers, and it's like, what? Ashton deserves it. Ashton deserves it. He's put in a lot of hard work. Ashton.
He was one of the hardest working guys. Absolutely.
Yeah. While I don't necessarily like all of his content, like that type of content isn't necessarily for me.
Right.
Like I like Ashton. I don't begrudge Ashton his success at all.
Absolutely not.
That's nice.
Everybody's free to create whatever they want.
Yes, and you are free to whether and Yes, and you are free to watch or not watch. Nobody is forcing you to watch.
Absolutely.
But anyhow,
I could be criticized for creating this type of content. Not everybody aligns with this stuff. Clearly not. I've been doing this for 7 years, and I don't even have 10,000 subscribers yet, right? So it's clearly not content for everybody.
Yes.
But that's okay, because this is the only type of content that I know how to create. I don't know how to create anything else. Not that I don't want to. It doesn't inspire me, and I don't want to come on here and pretend like, it does when it doesn't.
So, do you want to smell the Santal Austral?
Yeah, go for it.
Santal Austral. Sorry, it's not Astral, it's Austral. So I'm assuming that means Australia. Next, we will go to... Oopsie boobs. What's going on here? Jesus Christ, this thing's acting funny.
Has anyone tried vintage Chanel Le Lion? Yeah, I'm curious too.
Vintage Chanel Le Lion. I've just been sent. I've just been sent something. I'm going to send you a picture of in a minute. Actually, hold on.
I'm really backed up in the comments.
Yeah, you are. You have been for quite some time. Do you know how old that is? The picture I've just sent you. Can you see it?
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
That looks very much like the bottle that I have.
All right. How old is it? Do you know?
I can't date it.
Okay.
I guess you need a batch number, but I don't know. It looks very dark. It looks much darker, the perfume, than what's out there today.
Yeah. Yeah. He's offering me that for 50 quid. $50 Canadian.
I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'm thinking of just getting it just as a
For a
just to
reference.
have it. Yeah, just as a reference, like for $50, you're not going to get. He's got a couple of full ones, so I'm wondering how much he wants for one of them. Be interesting to find out how much. We should see if he wants to come on.
Who's that?
Anuj.
He's more than welcome to. I think I tried
Yes.
to get him to come on alive to have his store on, and they weren't interested.
Yes, that's right. I find that quite interesting that he doesn't want fame.
I mean, if he's up for it, he's more than welcome to.
Yeah. Peter Kokorin is asking an EDP splash bottle. Yes, Peter, if you want one, let us know. You've got my number. I can get you one. You can just have it at cost. If you want one, Peter, just give us a text and I'll find out how much a full one is. Hey, Hillary. Proper vintage, that is. Is it, Peter? If you want one, Peter, text us and I'll find out how much they are. And I'll sort you out. Apparently, it's a proper vintage, that. When is the duck going to send me some Balenciaga pour on? You know that I can't do that, or much to my chagrin. Dear Barbara. Do one of them too.
What would you like to see from YouTubers, Rich? Other than, it's like you go down the list and it's like top 10 this, top 10 that. It's like nobody really reviews perfumes anymore, do they?
Yeah,
like,
I know nobody reviews. I remember David did a video asking if perfume reviews were dead. This was a couple of years ago.
Are perfume reviews dead?
That's what the video Dava made about it, and I thought at the time, no, of course not. Don't be silly. And do you know what it is? Ever since I saw that video, I have noticed he has obviously seen something that I have not seen, and he's absolutely spot on. Nobody reviews perfumes anymore. It's all top 10 lists. It's all infomercials. It's, oh, I just got this for free, isn't it great? It's all buy my perfume that I'm releasing. Somebody else has paid. Somebody else has. But basically, it's all become about money, and it's become about people and not perfumes. And it's not what I want. This is one of the reasons I don't have myself on the camera. One of the reasons, I should say. There are many reasons I don't have myself on camera, but one of the reasons is that I want it to be more about what gets said rather than how things look. I know I'm on YouTube, which is a video a video platform. Really, I could do this as a podcast. And I know we've talked, like, I remember me, you, Guerlain, and Thomas talking before about doing a podcast. And I think podcasts are a really good idea for fragrance because you can't smell what people are talking about. But if you're asking us what I would like to see more reviews. I would like people to talk more about what they actually love. I would like to see people not look like they're being forced to make videos at gunpoint. You know what I mean? I would like to see people actually caring about it. And I think like what you said before, you can tell when people don't care about it. It shows. And I do not like that. And it's a real turn off. I would like to see more reviews. I would like more of an educational value.
Right.
One of the reasons I used to watch Robes, those old Robes videos, you know, the 25-minute, 30-minute perfume reviews, where he would like, I mean, don't get us wrong, I don't think necessarily every perfume review has to be 20 minutes, 25 minutes. You can adequately tell people what you think of a perfume in 10, 15 minutes or 10 minutes. I just think that people are dialing it in at the minute, and they're doing it out of, it's becoming more like people are making videos out of habit rather than passion now.
Right.
You
To be
know?
seen and to be noticed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. To grow the channel, it's more about the channel than the perfume.
Right.
You know?
I like to see that too. Just people coming on and talking. Like, it doesn't even need to be a scripted review or a proper format, but just how does the perfume smell? How does it make you feel? And not, how does, I don't care how it gets you noticed. Those are not the things that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I want to know how it makes you feel. What does it stir inside of you? What does it bring out? What is
Yeah.
the
No,
perfume
totally.
saying? What does this perfume say to you? What do you think it'll say to me? It's like so many people get lost in this. It's almost like people don't know who they are anymore, and they have no voice. They have nothing to say. And they all kind of say the same thing. It's like they wear perfume to be noticed.
It becomes white. It becomes
Talking about
white
being
noise.
validated, but that's exactly why a lot of these people are wearing fragrance, is for validation, external validation.
Yeah. It's
Who are you? Let us know. Who are you? Why do you guys wear perfume?
Yeah, exactly. You don't get like the it's become formulaic and boring and old. And I think over the last couple of years, we've become, as like a community, we've become very stale and stuck and stayed. I think there's a lot of people in it for the wrong reasons. I think there's a lot of people who are looking to make they're like looking to hotshot it, like come in, be a whirlwind, and then like get up and go, you know.
Too many people rely on other sources to tell them what they should wear, and that's what I mean by they don't know who they are. They need to be told what to wear. They need to be told what they like, and that's like, go out there and discover for yourself. Try everything. Try as many products as you can, and then you figure out what you like. Don't have other people telling you what you should wear. Connect with something.
Yes.
Eventually, when I started, yes, I used YouTube as a reference to tell me where, to lead me somewhere. And I found, when I started, I am so far away from those perfumes right now, like the things that I bought early on in my journey. And then I just started following the things that I was interested in instead of using or listening to other people's advice. Or suggestions. Just go out there, smell as many things as you like, and something will connect to you. To me, it's like my favorite perfumes aren't even the ones that smell the best.
Yeah.
They pull something out. Like Bella de Speedo doesn't. It's not gonna get you calm. It's actually it smells dry and earthy and green, and not many people are going to love that, but I just connect with it in a way that nothing else really speaks to me like that. And that to me is way more important and satisfying than wearing, something sweet and soft and very likable that will get me noticed. But it seems like
Yeah.
we go off on these quite often, these tangents.
Well, that's because it's a natural conversation, isn't it? You know what I mean? It just sort of, it ebbs and flows. It comes and goes.
I recommend to everybody go out there and try as many things as you can. It doesn't even need to be perfume. It can just go out in nature and smell things, Rip
Yeah.
a leaf off of a tree and roll it up in between your fingers and give it a sniff. Smell everything. Pick up rocks and pick up dirt and smell them. Smell branches. Go to places that you've never been before. Get uncomfortable. Do weird shit.
Do weird shit.
Do stuff that you're not comfortable with. And then you become comfortable in those places. I was very uncomfortable wearing leather oud the first time. I thought it was nasty, but it was like at the same time I was like, okay, this is interesting and it's deep and you know and cocoa the same way. I liked it, and it was just like my fear of wearing a feminine's perfume like really stuck to me. I thought I could never wear this. What are people going to think or say? You know, is it
Yeah.
embarrassing? Is there some shame and guilt in here? Well, not really. Nobody's ever really said, "Oh, you smell like a girl."
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I think as well, like with me, right? I think with wearing, like, I don't wear many female perfumes because I don't like the smell. But if I was to wear a female perfume, then I don't think anyone's going to mistake me for a woman. You know,
I,
like, like
I
you're
know.
not. You need.
I agree with that.
I think that if someone else is going to mistake you for a woman because you're wearing a female perfume, they've got bigger problems. You
Right.
know.
Right. I don't know,
It's,
man. Find out what you like, not just in perfume, but in all aspects of your life. What do you resonate with? Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself every day to be better.
no one will mistake me for anything other than being a duck. Do you want to smell this last Matiere? Matiere.
No.
All right.
Go for it. Spray it. Yeah.
All right. Choose life. Yes, Aramar thought that. That's exactly what I was just about to say. It sounds like the song from Trainspot. Excuse me. Okay. So this is the Santal Austral. People are swearing in the comments, and I'm having to.
Are they angry?
Jeremy, do your job. Jeremy, no, it's not. It's just people are just saying words like penis. It's and underwear, and Jeremy isn't doing his bloody job. Crack on, Jeremy. Right. So trying to spray this, not in the gaping wound on my thumb, because that will hurt. So here we go. Oh, well, this spray is shite. Right. Let's see what you do. You naughty little perfume, you. Not offensive.
Okay. Well, not every perfume needs to be offensive either, right?
No. It doesn't need to be offensive.
Doesn't need to be vulgar.
Creamy, soft, pleasant. Not much going on. Pretty soft.
You find it interesting?
Nope. You know what this is like? This is like a less good version of Arsène Lupin Voyou. It's got a sandalwood note in it. It's got some tongue, like a soft sort of tonka sort of note about it.
I feel like their Bois de Ben has some sandalwood in it. The one that I just smelled.
Bois de Ben? What, in the sandalwood one?
This one here. No, Bois de Ben. I feel like it has a sandalwood note in there. Woody, earthy, patchouli.
Okay. This has got like a what are these? Oh Lord, you're gonna shit your pants in a minute. So this is.
Ooh.
I know.
Ooh.
Not seen that before.
That's the Guerlain. Is that Shalimar, the umbrella bottle?
That's the eau de cologne, yeah.
And these are rare and hard to find as well. But
I'm just gonna ask them what age they are. Shalimar. So this sandalwood is so bland. It's very difficult to smell now as well. It's probably the best of the three, but it's not doing much at all. Like, it's not doing much at all. It's got this sort of average. It's not very woody. It's very creamy though. It feels like it's been refined. Like all the nooks and crannies have been refined out of it. Like it's been refined too much. You know, like triple filtered.
Right.
It's like
went through a coffee filter.
Like a few times as well. And filtered all like the good stuff out as well. It just smells like.
I have no idea what this means, Duncan, but okay.
What does it say?
We played. Oh.
FK.
FK. Okay. I thought you were talking about the perfume. You got the Mary. Oh, that's so sweet, Duncan. I was going to say, there's obviously a formula to growing your brand today. The way these guys are doing it, just send your bottles out, send them out to reviewers.
Yeah. Are you going to be doing that?
I can't imagine, doing it at this extent. But what would you say? What would you recommend? How else would somebody grow their brand? What do you think?
Oh,
is it better to do it slow and steady?
I would do it slow and steady, definitely. But you need to keep pushing as well. You need, like, I have this argument with Peter. Do you know Peter from Fragrance View?
Of course.
Like Peter doesn't use his channel to push his fragrance. He's like the opposite of like other reviewers who constantly talk about their perfumes on the channels.
Mm-hmm.
Peter's like completely the opposite, like almost too far. I think there's a balance to be struck. Like if I made a perfume and I had a fucking perfume channel with like thousands and thousands of subscribers, I would definitely talk about it, but I wouldn't throw it in there every video.
Right.
I wouldn't make every video about my perfumes. I wouldn't make everything it's a strange gray area, and I don't think there's a play. I don't
I
think there's
think
like.
you would eventually lose relevancy. Your channel would.
Well, I mean, it's already happening with some people. If you
If
see the
you're
views on some of the bigger channels, if you see some of the views on the bigger channels, it's
Are YouTube fragrance views going down? The number of views?
yes, they are. Have I just sent you a photo there?
Are any types of views going up?
No. Ashton does consistently well. The Fragrance Apprentice does really well. I think we're in a strange place as far as fragrance content. Have you got that picture I just sent you?
Yeah, I just showed it. What do you think's happened? Have people lost interest in perfume?
No. I
They
think
just
that
don't have
times
the
are hard.
bandwidth
Times are hard,
or
times are
20
fucking
minutes to
hard.
sit through a video.
No, I think times are hard, and people are prioritizing what they want to buy, and people forget as well. It's like people get to the point, right, where they don't want to be shown stuff that they can't have. So if you are skint, right, one of the first things you're going to do is cut back on luxury items, which are what perfume are, right? Because you don't need them. It's as simple as that. You don't need perfumes. They're not like food. They're not like clothes. They're not like.
Right. But we're always going to find a way to purchase perfume. Guys like you and me, we're going to cut other things out of our lives before perfume.
Yes, but most people aren't. You asked us why people aren't getting as many views as they were.
Okay, but
or
watching
why
a perfume review costs you nothing. You don't have to buy a perfume. That doesn't.
I would say that it's not a financial thing. I think it's an emotional thing, because you don't necessarily want to watch like yeah. The reason people watch all these influencers in Dubai and stuff like that is because they basically got no clothes on. And it's like softcore porn, That's why they still get views in times like this. It's a bit like kicking yourself in the balls. But with perfume, you've got to remember as well, the perfume community is not big.
Right.
This is a very small community, and some people just aren't that into it.
Do you think the current state of perfume is very similar to porn? Like, you watch one porn, you see one and you've seen them all. How many different ways can they show, the money shot, right?
Yeah.
It all looks the same. They just change the angle. Now, perfume, a lot of the things that is coming out today is very same.
Yeah.
Right? Brands are just copying each other and doing, they're all recreating that money shot, but all the money shot looks the same regardless of what fragrance it is.
Yeah. It's difficult,
Catherine says fragrance sales are up 45% since the pandemic.
I didn't know that. Completely blows my fucking thing out the water, doesn't it?
I'm not surprised. It seems like people are still spending a ton of money, and the government's still sending out a ton of it as well.
Yeah. It's where are we? Like the stream. Let's say that.
Yeah, but it feels like it's a weird time for fragrance reviewing.
It is definitely. It's definitely a weird time for fragrance reviewing.
I'll be honest, I get more excited to do, a live stream than to actually prep for a video. And I won't even record something unless I'm inspired, or I truly love something, or I feel I need to share something.
Yeah. I feel like with some of my some of my videos, I get like I feel like I need to say something about like a perfume. Like I look around my collection and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, like I haven't spoken about that yet. I haven't spoken about this yet. I haven't done that yet. I haven't done this yet. So I feel like I'm making up like a lot of lost time. You know. The thing is as well is that the thing is as well is that the prices. Somebody said in here the prices keep going up. And Peter Kokorin's made a really good point as well, is that I haven't purchased much this year because everything new's boring. I would use the word shite. But there isn't much fucking good stuff coming out at the minute. You know? What's that?
And this is, in response to Peter's comment, it's boring. Like, this stuff is truly boring. It's so uninteresting, and it's not even unique or original. It's like the first thing I get hit with is sugar, sweetness, and that's not what I want from a perfume. That's vanilla diorama.
Yeah, those are the vanilla ones that he released, like Eden Rock and Vanilla Diorama, and Dior. What was the other one that began with Dior?
Eden Rock, Toba Color, and Diorama this year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, shite.
They
like,
are.
Just
I got to be honest. The most interesting of the three has been Eden Rock, which smells like suntan lotion, and that's really sad and pitiful.
Yeah. It's the Dior have fallen off pretty hard. You know.
Are we going
Dior,
there? Are we going there, Rich?
I mean, do you want to? We can. We've done it to death. We've done it to death. We've talked about it loads. We're being denied.
We're good perfume.
Yeah.
We're being denied good perfume, and I don't think it's going to get better.
It's just the novelty of the fact that it's changed. There's been a change of like owner. There hasn't been a change of ownership, but a change of they're under new management, put it like that, and in the perfume department at Dior. It gives us a bit of hope, like the novelty of change. But I'm like, I don't know. I was adamant that it was going to be it was going to be great, but now I'm not so sure.
Sancho says, I wonder if Demachet was fired from Dior. And I do feel that. I felt it coming for a long time, because a lot of the stuff he was putting out was just like regurgitated, sweet, dumbed down perfume. People pleasers, mainstream, mass appealing, boring.
Well, I said to you, didn't I? I said to you that oh God, what was I going to say? Oh, that I was told by that perfume rep at like a little like sort of Dior event in like the town where I live, that Damashi has complete freedom to create whatever he wants in the Privé collection, and that's the shit he's been coming out with. So it's like fucking hell, like you would get sacked, wouldn't you? You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, it is good. It's okay, but like for something mass appealing, it's made very well. But for guys like you and me, it is just basically shit. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's shit.
Yeah.
It's so dull and uninspiring.
Yeah.
It's time for a change. Time for a change, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. But I think a lot of it's going to be up to smaller brands like Papillon. Somebody here was saying they are one of the best indie niche houses.
Yeah.
Hearing this, I think a lot of more interesting things will come from the smaller brands. I'm not sure if the quality will be there. They won't have access to the things like Dior and Chanel and Hermes, but if you want something that smells interesting and unique, that's the place to go.
Necessity. What do they say about necessity? It's the mother of invention. When you have these small brands that they need to do well, so and they also have different goals. You know what I mean? The need, the necessity to be different, to stand out. You know, Dior seems to have gone down this path of like, God, no, let us not stand out. Let us follow like the whole neutrality sort of like vibe that's going on in the world at the minute. I'm not necessarily talking about like gender neutrality. I'm talking about just like a general, everybody's scared to move at the minute because there's so much shit going on in the world. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's like, just if everybody stands still, nobody will get hurt, you know?
Yeah. It's
And
got to be because of the influx of money in China, right? Everybody's working over there and they want the same things that we have, but their tastes are obviously much different. And Dior wants to get their foot in the door over there.
China's economy is about to fucking crash and burn.
And hopefully, within time, once they get their foot in the door there and people are accepting of Dior's perfumes, hopefully they'll come back and improve and they'll make more interesting things.
I think I'm just pouring a drink. I'm not taking a piss. I think that you will struggle to change a place like China, in their tastes and stuff like that. I think you've got more chance of Dior leaving China before they would change Chinese tastes in China.
Right. Well, because they're comfortable with what they like. And we talked about this before. People don't like to get uncomfortable. They like what they're familiar with.
Yeah, it's. I mean, in a country of like 2-3 billion people, you will get a large amount of people who will try, just by the law of averages. You will get a large amount of people who are willing to try new things. Of course, you will. But I'm telling you, China is an ancient and like very complicated society, and I just cannot see them ever coming round to perfume in a way that the Europeans have, because it's just not part of their culture. People want to smell in that country. If people want to smell of anything at all, they want to smell of like flowers and nature,
Fresh and
and they
clean.
can, yeah, and not necessarily in a blue way. That would be seen as Western. That would be seen as like Western. It would be seen as foreign. It would be seen as alien. They would have to make perfume Chinese. Like if you were gonna like Dior and Chanel's marching into China and being like, you're gonna wear this. That's not how it's gonna work in China. That's just not how it's going to work in China. I'm a big fan of like China and Chinese history. I say China, not China as it is now, but Chinese history and culture. And it is not easy. You cannot you've got to imagine it as like a huge ship. You can't just change on a sixpence. You can't go in there, especially if you're foreign, and expect to change Chinese culture, customs,
Right.
and things like that. So for a perfume house to go in there and start saying, here is this completely alien scent that we sell loads of, thousands of miles away. Don't you want to love it? You'll get some of them that will. The young nouveau riche people out there. But you won't get huge like cultural change and difference, from certainly not from outside in China, is my personal opinion.
And like Aperol Spritz says, the Chinese market is just too big to leave alone. They'd be better off leaving the Western world and just going into China, and they'd be better off. They'd be more ahead.
I think I would agree. I would agree and disagree with that. I would agree and disagree with that. You would have to have Chinese people exploiting the Chinese market. I don't think Westerners would pick up on. Put it like this, right? It is very hard for us in the West to understand, right, the fact that China is like one of the only communist countries in the world left, right? But you have to understand the Chinese. The Chinese, there is no huge scramble for democracy in China. There isn't like a huge democracy movement in China, you know? You don't have like people writing on the street, we want our freedoms, we want this, we want that. You just don't get it in China. It's not part of the culture.
Well, yeah,
It's
they
just
like
not.
being told what to do and how to live.
It's not necessarily that. It's that unless the government does something truly outrageous, they're not going to be that bothered. And plus, there's so many. What they want in their lives is certainty, and they want stuff like. I'm sitting here saying I know what they want. I'm sitting saying this is like my analysis of it. In the East, in the Far East especially, there's a huge respect for authority that we don't have in the West. Like in the West, authority is something to be spat at, something to be fucking slapped around, something to be tested, something to be ignored. It's cool to be anti-authority, right? It's not like that in the East. It's just not like that. It's disrespectful. It's wrong. You don't do that in the East.
You,
Um,
you,
and we,
you want to hear something interesting? When I was in China for, I think it was 10 days, in my whole time there, I never seen a police officer or anybody from the law. I never saw a patrol car, never saw anybody on foot. There was just no, there's nobody representing the law there. At least,
yeah,
from what I can see from as an outsider.
yeah. It's China is not North Korea. Um, there's not going to be like fucking like 3 police officers for every 10 people. You know what I mean? Something crazy like that, like it is in North Korea. I don't know if they're police officers, but it's like state officials. Like the people watching the populace. It's like there's like for every 1 person, there's 3 fucking. No, sorry, for every 10 fucking like citizens, 3 of them are working like watching the population. Um, it's uh, it's much more ingrained in the society over there, and I'm telling you, this isn't a recent thing. This has been going on for thousands of years. China is an ancient society. They would turn around and look at like Western society as like something young and alien, especially like North America and South America. Um, and even then, even they go back to like Europe, like recorded Chinese history goes back like over 3,000 years. That's just the recorded history. That was when they started writing things down. Like we were like living in huts made of shit 3,000 years ago in Europe. You know what I mean? This was before Rome was a city. Never mind an empire. The Chinese have got their ways, and there's so many of them that it's very difficult to change them.
Now they're having this social credit system over there, I guess, with facial technology, facial recognition. It's making their job even easier. And you get these points either added or subtracted. I don't know exactly how it works, but they're watching you in public, and you get these points added or subtracted. And if you're on the positive side, you enjoy certain perks that would be taken away if you're on the negative side. So you're not allowed to buy certain products, or you have to, sit in a different area of public transportation if you're allowed on there at all.
I'll tell you what that plays on. That plays on the Chinese and the Eastern concept of shame. And there's a huge thing about shame over there. You're being shamed into behaving a certain way. And and it's very insidious and it's very dark. I can see that causing a lot of problems for the Chinese government.
You don't see that eventually moving over here?
Could do. Depends. I mean, people think that our I don't think necessarily our government. I mean, you say that if I was to say this to an American, they would just like laugh in your face. I don't think our governments are as evil as what people think that they are. I think that I think if you give them an inch to take a mile, but you've got to remember our governments are formed by us. People slate our systems of governments, and people slate our sort of like the stuff that our governments do to us and for us as well. But we are very self-critical and critical of our governments.
But that's the
We've got a
difference
culture.
between us and China is we have that freedom to say what we like, where they don't
Yes,
have that
exactly.
over there.
Exactly. And it is going to be incredibly difficult for anybody to take that away from us. Whereas the Chinese have never had that, ever, ever.
Right.
Right. You do not, like I'm telling you, like 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, if you were to say something against the emperor to like an official in a court, you'd be executed, you'd get the Ling Chi, the death of 1,000 cuts.
They take all your perfume away.
They would take all your family away. Like seriously, that's what used to happen. You know, that's how they used to get. Like if you committed a crime and they couldn't get you, they'd kill your family. Right, and I'm talking. This has been Chinese custom for like thousands of years. Seriously, like the Chinese have been refining their form of government for a long time. President Xi, I'm telling you, President Xi, right, is going to turn around at some point and say that he has the mandate of heaven and that he is now the emperor. He is going to be like a new emperor. They're going to reinstate the fucking imperial system. I wouldn't be surprised to see that at all. He's already cleared himself for a fucking third term. He's going to be president for life, that fucker.
Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him, exactly. Yeah, looks like fucking him. Winnie the Pooh. Do you know Winnie the Pooh's banned in China because all the Chinese say that he looks like Winnie the Pooh?
You fucking ruined perfume for everybody, motherfucker.
Well, everybody wants to fucking. If you want to blame anyone, it's Deng Xiaoping because he brought in the reforms in China. I mean, the Chinese government isn't communist in any other way apart from the fact that they control people. That's the only semblance of communism that there is in China. Everything else is a capitalist society. They're a fucking merchant society. Some of the greatest merchants in the world are Chinese. They've always been a trading nation. Always. You look back at if anybody's interested, go on the internet and look at the fucking Chinese treasure ships. The fucking Chinese emperor, about fucking 400, 500, 600 years, I can't remember when it was, sent out these fucking huge, some of the biggest ships ever made, right, out of wood, and fucking sent them around the world. Went to Africa, went to India, went to fucking, I think they got, I don't know if they got around the southern tip of southern Africa because it's a nightmare to get around there, but they went round all these places and it was just a diplomatic mission. It was like, I'm from like the greatest fucking leader in the world. He has loads of treasure. Don't forget about. We'll send some people back in future to trade with you. That's what like seriously. If China decides to fucking move, right, they've got to be respected. The reason that everybody's there's like a scramble for China, right, is because there's so many people there. All you've got to do is hit the law of averages and you'll make a fortune. But the Chinese, right, the Chinese have invested loads of money in places in like Africa, in other parts of Southeast Asia, and they are like building railways, they're building fucking trains, they're building fucking roads, they're building ports, they're building nuclear generators, they're building loads of infrastructure, right? And it's going to be this diplomacy that they use. I know they call it the wolf warrior diplomacy, but it's going to be like what Putin does with these fucking pipelines in Europe. You depend on us for this. If you don't, we'll take it away. We will give you this stuff and you will behave. And if you don't behave, we'll fucking take it away from you. And that's how you can use capitalism to control people. That's not communism. That's capitalism. Fucking interesting stuff. I just think that the fucking world we're fucking living at the minute is just absolutely fucking insane. It's very interesting. People are going to say, like, I often talk to my friend and we're like, oh, you're like my friend's like a bit older than us, she's like in her 60s and that, and she's like, oh, you live in interesting times, you know, in like 20 and 30 years time, like people are going to look back and be like, wow, that was an interesting time to live. It's fucking terrifying. Because you don't know what's going to happen. People also forget the fact that we're living through the middle of a revolution, like the digital revolution. Look at what Mark Zuckerberg's just come out with. Live your life. Basically, that's going to be live your life online. It's going to become very hard for you to live a life without internet access soon.
Well, don't you think this is what we've asked for? He would never have built this if we're not using it. Like
there's one way. That's one way of saying it. The other way of saying it is that he has invested time and has studied data. That's the big thing that Mark Zuckerberg's done. He's studied data, and he has shown that what he can do is he can see how people can be manipulated and how people. And this is again, we're talking about communism and capitalism, about how capitalism's so great and capitalism isn't as great as what people think it is. It's just better than like the alternatives. And Mark Zuckerberg has taken it and seen the results of the data that he's been collecting for the last 15 years on people, and he thinks he can make more money from the metaverse, and that's going to be augmented reality soon.
Yeah, people,
yeah, he absolutely will. It's all data driven, and that's why they're trying to collect as much information about people so they can exploit the information in the data and then use it to fucking make more money.
Yeah, you know, we all say how internet's ruined society and Facebook and Instagram, but you know what? We can't put it down. We're obsessed with it and we're constantly checking it. And the more we use it, the more they're going to be putting out there for us. None of this would be possible if we didn't allow them to. You know, we're asking them for this. This is the way humanity is evolving. And I don't know like where it's going to go. I only imagine this is what we want, right?
It's not necessarily what we want, but it's what we're going to get, and we're going to take it.
Nobody's saying no to it. You can turn away from it. You can turn your cell phone off and cancel your data, but I don't.
That's because it's there. Yeah, but the thing is, that's because it's there.
We've become so dependent and reliant on it that you don't leave your house without your cell phone. If you run out of Wi-Fi or data, you're fucked.
Yes, exactly.
You don't know what to do, which way to turn, or you lose yourself. You start to ask yourself, who the fuck am I? Who are you without the internet? You lose your identity.
It's
and they're just taking, you know, they're taking what they have and they're expanding it, which is really they're taking more of us away from ourselves. And now we're going to be these online personas, these whatever this stuff is, this metaverse, this.
That shit's insidious. The fact that you cannot delete the Facebook app from your phone is absolutely disgusting. You try true? anybody yes, anybody try right now. Try and delete the Facebook app from your phone. You can't. You cannot uninstall the Facebook app from your phone, and you've never been able to for years.
That's interesting.
It's fucking insane. Insane. Mark Zuckerberg is a robot. He literally, I mean, his fucking face is mental. You ever seen him try to have a conversation with someone?
He's got to be under all kinds of stress and duress and anxiety. I'm not surprised he does look like that.
I think it's I think he's definitely on the spectrum. I don't think there's any question of that. He doesn't do social interaction very well. I think he really struggles. I do agree with what you're saying as well, though. He really does struggle.
Being on the world spotlight stage, though, and having
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. He's probably the worst person in the worst place at the worst time, right? But he is the man. You know what I mean? He is the man in possession. He is the man who has got. He's the man who has got the power. Facebook makes more money than some countries' GDPs, man.
Facebook isn't social media anymore. Facebook is it's politics. It's
Facebook, yeah, exactly, yeah. He's got a lot to fucking answer for. He's got a lot to answer for. As Mark Zuckerberg, he has got a lot to answer for. If there is a heaven and a hell, and I'm not religious, but if there is a heaven and a hell, that fucker is very surprised if that fucker gets into heaven. He has done a lot. He has done a lot of bad shit. And very subtle as well. I think he struggles. I think he struggles not just with like. I think he struggles to know how to deal with people. That's why he created the Facebook.
Not doing. You've signed your rights away. You've agreed. In order to use his app, you've agreed to give away your rights, your privileges. He's not doing anything wrong. He had.
That is no. Well, I mean, fucking hell. I mean, you say that. I can't delete the Facebook app from my phone. I can't delete the Facebook app from my phone. That's not right. I've never had a Facebook account. I've never had a Facebook account. I don't do social media, right? If there comes a point in the future where I literally can't function without social media, like it's like email address. It's like people used to say you don't need an email address. You must have an email address now, or you can't take part in society. You know what I mean? You got to have one. And if you need the state for anything, right? For like benefits, or if you need
a cell phone.
You need not only do you need a cell phone, but you need to have an email address that will look at you like if you're not an old person, right? If you're not like in your 80s, right, and you say you haven't got an email address, they'll look at you like you've got two heads. I know somebody who wouldn't have a bank account back in the day, right? And fucking what was it? What happened? But basically, this government agency called the police on him because he didn't have a bank account. Why haven't you got a bank account? What the fuck's going on? Because you haven't got a bank account.
So strange.
And it was like so strange. The police basically told him to fuck off. They were like, "What the fuck's that got to do with us?" You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was like he literally got a knock. He literally got a knock on the door from the police saying, "Yeah, the fucking it was a government department." They were like, "Look, a government department's been in touch with you because you haven't got a bank account. We just thought we'd come and tell you. Like, could you tell me why you haven't got a bank account?" And he was like, "No, fuck off, mind your own business." Police were like, "Yeah, no problem. Bye." Do you know what I mean? Like the police were like, "This is the most ridiculous thing in the world." And I remember him telling me this story, and I was like, "Mate, that's dodgy as fuck." He got back in touch with the government department. He was like, "What the fuck do you think you're doing?"
Do you remember when you got your first driver's license?
Yeah, it was.
Did it have a picture?
Yes, but it was 2004 when I got mine. It did have a picture. Yes. I know that the previous ones didn't have a picture on though. The thing is that they would justify that saying that you needed to have a picture on your driving license because of all the fraud that went on with it.
Before they had digital cameras, there was no pictures on our Ontario driver's license. It was just like a piece of paper, like literally a piece of soggy paper. And then when digital cameras became a thing, people went nuts. They're like, "This is Satan. This is the devil. We don't want to."
Yes.
When you were able to send digitally a picture across the world in a split second, people were confused and they didn't understand what was happening and they didn't like it and people were rebelling against it and they didn't want to change their driver's license. But the state never gave you that option. If you want to drive, this is, you need to come. This is it. You need to follow the rules.
Yep.
And that's kind of what's happening here with the explosion of the internet and Facebook and Instagram. And,
yes.
And even now, I think I don't have a vaccine passport, but do you need a cell phone or is it a paper passport?
A vaccine passport, I think you've got to be. I don't know, to be honest with you.
It's a cell phone passport, isn't it? Like you flash your cell phone, right?
I don't know. It might be a QR code.
Is it a physical piece of paper?
I don't know. I do not have a clue. I don't have one. I don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, right.
We in this country, right? You get a piece of card to say which batch and when you had the vaccine, and I've got my booster one, which you can only get your booster if you've had the previous two. So basically, I could go to my doctors and say, look, I attended my fucking things. They know I've had mine, so I could get a passport off them if I wanted one, but I don't go anywhere. It's not people like me this is going to affect, because I've got the good great I've got like the good fucking, not the good grace, but like the fucking good fortune to be very unwell. So they're not gonna target people like me. It's gonna be like the fucking it's gonna be like the fucking like the people who can like give them money. You know what I mean?
I swear, I think I can remember like my first driver's license. There was no photo attached to it.
I'm just
It
going
was
to the bathroom. Hold on.
it was just a piece of paper. I'm trying to find it on the internet, but I don't remember having like there was no digital photo, and I can't remember even if there was a photo. But this here's a this is what a driver's license used to look like, right? It was just, printing, spelling. There was no pictures at all. And I think now with the internet, everything's just going to get crazier and crazier, and it's going to be easier to. And I'm not worried about being tracked. Nobody has a reason to look for me. But are you there, Rich? I think Rich has muted himself.
I've muted myself. I've been in the toilet.
Oh, okay. Do what you need to do. Do what you need to do. Oh, George is here. What's up, George? Hi, y'all.
I'll tell you who needs a slap in the world today. Vladimir Putin. He's an horrible cunt. I cannot stand that fucker.
Right.
I just don't like Vladimir Putin at all.
How long do you think it's before we're chipped?
Oh, and that'll be coming
gonna,
in with the metaverse. That'll be coming in with the metaverse.
And there's going to be a point in time where they say, this is what we're introducing, and this is your options. Take it or leave it. You want to drive a car.
Do you want to know something? Do you want to know something, Eugene? I truly believe this, right? People always thought communism would come in through fucking the governments, right? But it won't be. It'll be private companies. It'll be companies like Tesla. It'll be companies like Facebook. It'll be companies that like will bring in these things, and then what'll happen is governments will follow, right? I've always thought this, right? I've always thought this. It will be when people say we can make money, right? It'll be more efficient if you just have a chip, like a dog. Dogs have chips. Dogs are fine. Yeah, but I'm not a dog, am I? I'm a person. Get your kid chip. Like when you take your kid for the polio vaccine and the MMR vaccine, the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine, when they're like fucking 9 months old, they'll say, "Oh, do you want your kid to get chipped?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, it'll just be easier. It'll save them the trouble when they're older." You know what I mean? And it'll be companies that will bring it in first, right? It will be companies that bring it in first, and then it'll be governments that bring it in.
Well, they're already doing it. Like if you're not going to play fair, if you're not going to play by the rules, there's already starting to take your rights away. You can't get on a plane. You can't travel. You can't eat in a restaurant with everybody else. You're different.
Yes, I agree with that, but you don't have an inalienable right to be on a plane. You don't have an inalienable right to go to any restaurant.
They're making your life difficult.
Yes, exactly. They're nudging you. They're nudging you along. They're They're just giving you little prompts and little pushes. Just go this way. Just do that. It's the path of least resistance. And this has all been worked out by data as well. This is why the collection of data is so dangerous, because they're figuring out human behavior. These are things you can't control about yourself. It's
the rules you need to follow if you want to live in this society, and it's a way to control society.
Yes.
And the bigger society becomes, the more control they'll need to keep us in line.
Yes, but the thing is, right, is that they'll have to control themselves. It's not like, the thing is, right, it's not like they're not going to be controlled themselves. Like, seriously, it's like they're going to be under control as well. It's not like while we're all under control, they're enjoying loads of freedom. It's not like when when there was that massive snowstorm in fucking Texas earlier this year, and the bloke who was in charge of Texas went to fucking Mexico on holiday. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like that. It's not like that. It's not like something like, it's not like if you, that was bonkers, that, by the way. I mean, how bad was that? But it's like, it's not like, because they're going to be under the thumb as well. You know, they're going to be like under the same rules as well.
Sure, absolutely. But how much are we going to get away from humanity? How much are we going to change? What are we willing to do?
It depends how much.
Give up.
It depends how much. It depends how much it is. It is both.
Is it to improve life?
Well, I mean, it'll be progress, not improvement. Put it like that. There's a difference. Progress is not assured. Improvement is not assured. Right now, you look back 30 years. Right. You look back 30 years, 25 years, 30 years, 1996. Was life better than it is in 2021?
I don't think so. Maybe for the maybe for the kids. I think the kids had, honestly, I think the kids had more freedom. I think their freedom now is taken away with the internet, and they're just really distracted with what's online.
So what I'm saying is, was life better in 1996 than it was in 2021? Is the standard of living better, pound for pound?
I think we're making more money now than ever before.
I didn't ask you about money. I asked you about the standard of living. I asked you about how, like, not money. I'm not talking about economics.
Is it better? I don't know. It's hard to say. You balance so many things. I almost feel like we're trapped with the internet.
The internet is everywhere, and it is coming to.
You know, you're limited. Kids don't want to get out of the house. You know, we were out from. I was never caught in my house. I couldn't be found. Nobody knew where I was. And now you want somebody, you have access to them 24/7. I know where to find you, Rich, at 3 a.m. I know where you are, even though I don't know where you are.
So do you want to know something outrageous that I've just done? Do you want to know something absolutely mental that I've just done?
Tell me.
Right? You're not going to believe this. I've just uninstalled Facebook from my phone. I can't believe that. just tried it just now. Just tried it just now, and it's gone. That's insane. I didn't know you could do it. Like, I literally remember trying a while ago, and I remember reading about it as well. You can't get rid of Facebook. You can't delete it. It won't go. And now I've just tried it. Somebody in the comments said, I think it was a problem on Samsung phones a few years ago. So now you know what phone I use as well. So that's me dropped a bollock. But no, it's try cancelling your account. The app is gone. Try cancelling your account. Yeah, I've never had that. I've never had it. I've never had one.
I mean, definitely the internet's made our lives easier, and we've never had access to more information ever. It's great in that sense. But I think humans have become, they've almost abused it. We almost abuse, and I speak for myself too. I don't remove myself from this. You know, it becomes abusive where you lose yourself and you lose touch with reality. And you're constantly chasing something that doesn't exist.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's definitely a thing.
we're complaining because we're old. You know, possibly right. I mean, there is no good and bad. We're the ones that are putting judgment to this, right?
Yes,
All I'm
there's
saying
nothing
is, be
inherently bad.
aware. Be aware of
Yeah,
what you're doing. Be aware of where you're spending your time. Be aware
yeah,
what you're the information you're absorbing. Make sure it's you know, make sure it's not fucking brainwashing you. It's really
you
easy to
never.
get caught up in all this, in the news and politics, and in the it's the same repeating patterns over and over again. And it's to keep you distracted.
Oh, I have to take you downstairs. I need some more water. It's so cold. I'm so stalled.
It is so cold. I thought about going for a run, but it's getting really late and it's friggin' freezing outside.
Yeah, it's Baltic. Like I'm fucking Baltic as fuck. Absolutely freezing. Oh. I had some carrot cake today. It was fucking awful.
It sounds awful, but I don't mind carrot cake.
I don't like carrot cakes, but well, I don't either. No, I still ate it though.
Carrot cake can be quite dry and crumbly.
No, this wasn't dry. It was wetter than an otter pocket. It was fucking extremely wet. It was awful though. It's just I just don't like carrots.
Marcus is saying most people are seriously overstimulated these days. That absolutely, and I don't think there's ever been as many people that are depressed and suffer from anxiety as today. And that's because they're losing themselves. They don't know who they are, and the minute they're off their phone, it's like the anxiety starts to build up because they want to, they want to know who's texted them or who's liked their post or what messages they got. And that the moment you check your phone, you can feel the tension of that anxiety leave you. And that's temporary as well until the next hit.
Yeah. No, I understand. I do get that. Look at the size of these things. Sorry, I'm just like looking at my tablets, like.
Yeah.
Oh.
I noticed when I want to get away from myself, I'll like subconsciously, I'll make an excuse to text somebody or to call or check. I was like, oh, I just got to check somebody, but why am I really like, why do I need to check that right now? Like, why does it need to be right now? And it's to get away from feelings. It's to get away from vulnerabilities of things that don't feel good. And the moment you check something, those feelings disappear. They're gone. And, it's easier to go into the cell phone than to go into those feelings and find what's coming up for you.
Right.
What's with all the dudes in Fragcom? Are they all losing weight here? George and Aram lose a ton of weight?
I need to lose a shit ton of weight as well, to be fair. To be fair, I have lost a few pounds. So I just need to weigh myself to find out how many of said pounds I've lost. I don't know. I need to pick it up.
Eating can be a distraction from yourself too. I found myself, I was eating to make myself feel better. The same reason I'd go and check a cell phone or go on the internet and search.
No, that's totally true. Yeah, because you do get like a literal like hit of dopamine when you eat something. So it's like coke works the same way that cocaine does. It will literally make you feel better if you eat stuff.
Absolutely.
But you'll feel better in general if you lose weight, though. So it's a strange one.
It's a slow process, but it's well worth it. Aram lost 35 pounds. That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that.
Aram's not like a I don't know how tall Aram is, but he's not like 6'4" like you as well. That's a lot of weight, that Aram. You know what I mean? It's like, not that I'm like diminishing like how much weight you lost, but I'm saying like I don't know if Aram's like that tall. Like I'm tall as well, like you. If I lost 35 pounds, I could probably do with losing a few more as well. Whereas I think if Aram lost any more weight, he'd be like, he'd disappear.
I'll tell you, part of, I don't think I talked about this. I talked about this with you, but I didn't talk about it in public. part of my fasting journey also helped me heal. Like as I was healing, because food was a distraction for me, and the hungrier I became, there's moments that you'd get hunger pangs, feelings would come up for you, feelings of vulnerability, and that definitely
Yeah.
led me to heal faster. I was able to sit in those feelings and ask like, why am I feeling this? So food was a distraction for me, and whenever I ate, I usually like look for junk food, and that would take me away from my pains.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm so cold. It's unbelievable. Like,
Apparently, we're depressing people and they're gaining weight watching us. See, and I can see
I'm
that.
eating a biscuit.
That's
I've literally.
what the news does to you. You're obsessed with watching the news, and it's all depressing and it's all negative, and there's nothing fucking good on there. And it gives people anxiety because they think the world's going to end, or they don't know what's going to happen to them. So they want to feel better about themselves. So they start eating, or they start causing, you know, they want to share their opinion and they want to be heard, and they get in arguments with their friends, and it's just a vicious cycle that keeps going over and over and over again.
I'm eating a biscuit.
I'm gonna run for both of us. Okay. I'm determined. I'm going for a run tonight. I don't care how fucking cold it is. I've got to do 10K.
You are more than welcome to it. You are
I'll do
more
10
than
for
welcome.
both of us. And I invite
My
you all
God.
too. If you don't want to fast, go for a run. You'll feel better. You'll feel less stressed, less anxious. Oh shit. Somebody wore blue to Chanel and the woman took advantage of him. I don't know if I should say congratulations or I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know what you're looking for.
No, rape's not funny. I'm a foul duck. I'm eating a biscuit to try and I'm eating a biscuit to try and soak up some of the water.
Why don't you just let the water pass through you?
Because it'll if you're not careful, then it'll like you'll piss out all the nutrients like like potassium and phosphorus and all that sort of thing, and you'll start feeling really unwell.
Yeah. But just be aware of your behaviors, your patterns. Ask yourself why you're doing certain things. Every movement you make, there's a reason behind it. If you're checking social media, if you're turning on the news, if you're going into the fridge and you're grabbing the snack, stop and ask yourself, why am I doing? Am I really hungry, or do I just want these shitty feelings to go away? There's that disconnect from the mind and the gut.
Yeah. Michael Harness is here. Hello. I'm not going to stick around much longer.
Yeah, good shout. It is 8:30.
Yeah. You need to go for a run, and I need to try and warm myself up before I go to sleep.
What's going to keep you warm tonight? Cookies,
Me quilt.
biscuits, churros?
No, me quilt. Me quilt. Yes, Koros as well. I'm going to spoon me Koros. I'm seriously considering a serious relationship with this big bottle of Koros.
I think you've got it, whether you like it or not. I don't think you'd be able to get rid of him.
It's unheard of.
That's attachment. You become attached.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel? Do you feel good about yourself when you're with Kuros?
Yes.
Right?
I like the idea that I'm preserving something.
Is Kuros supportive of you?
Yes.
Very supportive?
Not very supportive, no.
All your needs get met?
Not all of them, no.
What's missing? What would you like for Kuros to do for you that it doesn't?
Deep throat.
Maybe it needs a bigger atomizer or a spray nozzle.
It doesn't have one, the big one. The big one doesn't have any of that shit. It's it has got silver shoulders though, which I do appreciate it.
You like puffy shoulders, silver shoulder. Can you see your reflection in it?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I can see my reflection in it. Only in the silver bits though. That's strange.
Do you love Kuros?
I have feelings for Koros, but I'm not sure I love Koros.
So they're conditional.
No, I mean, it's not like Koros has ever let us down. But I'm just not all the way there yet.
Are you dependent on Kuros?
I'm not dependent on Koros. No, I have a support network of in my life that supports me. I don't need any one perfume, which is good, but I do have special feelings for Koros.
Right. Would your life be any different without Kuros?
Yes, I would desire it more if I didn't have it.
So now that
Aaron
Kuros is giving itself to you, do you find yourself pushing away?
No, I don't find myself pushing it away when it's giving itself to us. Rich has got the munchies. Rich has got the water munchies. I'm eating this biscuit. This biscuit is tremendous. I am savoring this biscuit. This is another good way to lose weight.
No.
Eat slowly and enjoy what you are eating. Don't eat like
Kuros,
really
do you think
quickly.
any other perfume can make you just as happy as Kuros?
I mean, there are other perfumes which make me happier than Koros.
Do you think Kuros ever gets jealous?
No, Koros just sits there all big and white.
Right. Confident.
It's there like a statue, the statue that it is. George Horoff asks a question. Rich, do you find yourself counting the milliliters in your bottle until you can get your next bottle? No, when it gets really low, then what I try to do is just burn through it. I really hate having a small amount of perfume left in the bottle. Koros is a jealous lover. Rich always has a backup, George. When I have got a small amount left in the bottle, I try to burn through it as quickly as possible. Hate having small amounts left in the bottle.
Jealousy comes from a place of insecurity. Do you think Kuros is insecure or confident?
Confident. Excuse me, I'm just chewing like a motherfucker.
Just you keep chewing.
I do keep chewing. I'm chewing like fuck.
Can we all validate Prashkufka? She's feeling a little bit, I don't know. I don't want to say needy, but she'd love some attention. And if we can all say hi, I'm sure it would drastically improve her evening.
Hello.
She's looking to somebody to flirt with.
Hello, Prashkufka.
Hello, Prashkufa. We hope you're well. Why don't you come on? And we'll validate you some more.
Well, what?
What's that?
I thought you said violate.
No, I said validate. We will validate her feelings.
I see.
You might feel better.
Is
Balenciaga a bigger problem than Kuros for you?
Balenciaga, I've got like the best part of 20 bottles of Balenciaga, if not more. This is why I wear it now. You'll see it pop up in my fragrance rotation. Whereas before, when I only had like a bottle or two, I never used to wear it. So now I do wear it, and I'm much happier.
Do you ever find yourself giving yourself away to Kuros? Like George is asking, does Kuros make you do things? So giving yourself away, you don't want to, but you do it anyways, so it doesn't reject you.
No. Koros wouldn't do that to us. I wouldn't do that to Koros. I do take Koros places it doesn't necessarily want to go. I do pimp it out as well. I do decants for other people, so I do
Right?
kind of pimp it out.
How does Kuros feel about that?
Like, fucking loves it. Koros is a dirty slut.
How,
Koros is a right bike.
how does Kuros show you love? Is it in actions or words?
I've got a mouthful of biscuit. Hold on, this biscuit is now gone. Right,
Have a sip of water. Wash it down. I imagine Kuros is very action oriented. It shows you through its actions. Rich is on mute. He doesn't want us to hear him chewing.
You don't want to hear me chewing. I'm going to have a drink now, so it's over. Don't worry, people.
Have a drink, have a yawn, and then come back to us.
I don't need a yawn.
Prashkufka's swearing at us in Cyrillic. I'm not sure exactly what she's saying. Maybe George can translate or anyone else.
She's talking filth.
Orthodox.
Oh dear. So somebody asked, hey Rich, would you trade a Balenciaga for a vintage Fahrenheit? No, because guess what? I've got vintage Fahrenheit. Rich is mid squeezing out. I don't mind he mutes us. No, but I do that. I would meet you if I was going for a poop.
So she said, thank you. Oh, you're welcome. If you'd like to come on, I'll give you the link. Prashkufka.
Apparently a Rich Mitch mukbang. There are videos of duck. Eugene often sends me videos of ducks having mukbangs.
Yeah,
he goes to the river and has a mukbang with the ducks.
I went to go feed the ducks yesterday. I really enjoy that, just connecting with nature, and it's really grounding to be around animals and flowing water and trees and leaves and fresh air and that sort of thing. And you really get to enjoy the moment, like just the present moment.
It's I live in a big nature place where there's big nature around, and it's nice. I couldn't imagine living in like a town or a city.
Right.
It's not for me. That I just couldn't do it. Too much noise, too much light, too many people.
So you prefer the countryside?
Absolutely, massively.
Do you feel like you ever miss the city, the hustle and bustle, people, just watching people?
I've never lived in the city. If I wanted to do that, and I do sometimes want to do that, the hustle and bustle, the city and the move and the lights and everything, sometimes I'll go to the city, but I must then leave the city. I could not stew in the city. That's not happening at all.
Do you want to hear something weird?
No, but tell us anyway.
It's not weird, but it's just all right. It's just me. I love going into Toronto to watch people, but I love doing it alone.
Yeah, I like doing that.
Like I like
going to shopping centres as well. Shopping centres, watching people talk and move and sit and all that sort of thing. I've got I knew a lass who used to really like watching people eat. And I was like, what the fuck? And like there would be like a few times she would get like caught watching people eat. And I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
George, I would do that for $100K a month. I mean,
What
you're
would you do?
not doing anything wrong. People are just watching you, and you may or may not be naked. Rich, would you have your cameras on and allow people to watch you in your house all day, every day, 24 hours if
No,
you were bringing in 100K a month?
no,
I'm going to set that up tonight if that's what it brings in.
no,
No? You like your
no.
privacy? Well, what is it that
Um,
you do that's like that you want to hide from people?
Nothing. It's not the point.
You just don't want the 100K a night, eh?
It's not that fucking. It's just no. I just couldn't have it. I couldn't have like I couldn't have people fucking watching us all the time. I really don't like it.
I think you would get
I don't
used.
like. Sorry.
I think you would eventually just get used to it.
Nah, nah. Maybe you started doing some pretty nefarious stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's just having the option taken away from you. That, like, it's not that I do anything dodgy. It's just that if I wanted to do something dodgy, I couldn't because I wouldn't be like, I'd be being watched. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you don't want people to like fucking watch you doing like I'd hate to be like, I'd hate for it to be like, you've got to remember as well, it wouldn't just be you that would be affected. It would be like the people who care about you or that you
Well,
care about. You
they
know
don't
what I mean?
necessarily need to know what you're doing, but yeah, George is absolutely. There's a way people have benefited from the internet, and they're making a living off of it. They're making it a career, and they're making a lot
Yeah,
of money doing it as well.
yeah. It's everything that has problems has opportunities, and everything that has opportunities has problems.
Yara says the Truman Show.
Yeah, I remember the Truman Show. I loved that film when I was younger.
I'm gonna,
Um,
before I'm not gonna end this stream. I'm just gonna leave the camera running, and I'll be like hustling back and forth, and
swearing to yourself and stuff like that.
yeah, we'll see what happens. I wonder if people would watch that if they'd stick around. Because it's not just what's on camera, people enjoy themselves in the chat as well.
Yeah, I remember the
But I
Truman
honestly, I
Show.
don't think I'm that interesting that people would stick around and watch.
Some people probably would. People would come for the people would come for the sense of community. There are 69 people watching. Joey Cannoli will be buzzing.
Yeah, there you go. Canelli Mafia. Shout outs to the Mafia.
Big math.
All right, here's let's do. How many of you watch me doing everything? That sounds really bizarre though. Like if I had to hold a camera and just follow it with me everywhere I go, that would be weird. But I think, if I were to set cameras up locally in corners of the room and just let them watch, that's different. That'd be much easier for me.
Are you still there? Are you still going to move back in with your parents, or have you decided against
Yeah,
that
I had
now?
a conversation with them the other day, and we've sorted some things out. I told them how I felt just about the whole energy thing.
All right.
And they understand, they get it.
So you are going to move back in there?
Yeah, I've got
Oh, right.
till the end of the year. So I don't know if I'll get to do a Christmas tree toss this year.
You could toss the Christmas tree at the at your parents' house.
They live on the ground, like they don't live on the 10th floor or anything, just live in a regular house. So where would I toss it from? I'm not climbing their roof on the middle of winter. But yeah, like what Yara is saying is, she's got shit to do too. And that's what I imagine most people have a life. Why would they want to watch, some guy? Why would they want to follow some guy doing his everyday bullshit? Doesn't make sense.
The thing is, right, is that everybody's got a life, right? But not everybody's got a life all the time. So it's like people would tune to watch for a little bit, and there would just be like a constant revolving door of people coming in. The event, and I'm telling you as well, right? We've said that, but some people don't have a life. Some people
some people genuinely don't.
Some people are looking to be distracted from their life.
Yes, some
right?
people do not care for the old life.
I'm just going down the street. It's less than 3-minute car drive, right by the hospital there.
Where are you going? What are you doing? What's happening?
That's where my parents live.
All right.
Do you think I should torch any more bottles? I've been asking for it, and I don't know how I feel about torch. Like, it's already been done before.
I'm cold. I've put my socks back on. That's how cold it is. The heating's not on in the house.
I've got no socks on either.
No, I've put my socks on. People are saying that you should, well, Jeremy Hines is saying jump on Chad's bus and get his live reaction.
Is there any way that he can prohibit that? Is there some kind of law against that? Not necessarily him, but somebody in that position. Not that I would do that to him. That'd be really awkward.
Poor Chad. He's really, really into his Bond fragrances at the minute.
Well, that's good. He's discovered something new. It's good that he's got away from Ferrari for a bit.
Well, I got a vintage Ferrari fragrance recently, and it was really nice. Like a vintage Ferrari. I'm talking like 30 years old, 25, 30 years old. Really good. It's called Cuvée. It's really nice. I was surprised. It's a splash though, so I've got to decant it into a hoo jar, into a sprayer.
It'd be great to see a skeet shoot of the 10. I've never shot a gun. I've never shot anything of this sort, so I wouldn't know how to. I've got zero aim. I can throw the bottles and somebody else can shoot them for me.
Right. I shot a gun when I was about 7 or 8 years old and dislocated my shoulder. Right. And I've only ever shot pistols since then. But we don't have you just can't get weapons in this country now. You just can't. Like, it's just not.
So bizarre. George says there's a website that just has influencer feet and people rate them. They just go on to look at people's feet.
There's a thing for everything. Everyone. There is a thing for everything.
I come to Florida. We can shoot machine guns.
It's pretty.
Do Nerf guns count? I've shot Nerf guns, but no, those don't count, Yara. I don't think you'd be able to break a bottle of CDNIM with Nerf gun.
It's Jura Rose wants to know how I'm still going, but the fact is that I'm not. I actually fell asleep about 3 hours ago.
Rich is in zombie mode.
No, I fell asleep. You're talking to a fucking to a meta version of Rich Mitch.
There you go.
This is the
stimulation. And that's what the metaverse will give you: is stimulation and anxiety. And the more you get stimulated and anxious, the more you lose yourself. You get away from yourself, and you search for more stimulation in other forms.
That's right. I just can't.
All right, so it's a good time to kill it. We're at a 69.
Yes.
Almost 9. Anyway, it's been almost 3 hours. This is a long time to stream.
That's a long time.
And you said we'll do a short stream, and I was like, all right, do you mean 2 hours short or 3 hours short?
Yeah, that's right. You did, bonkers. We just can't help it. We've covered a large range of topics tonight, though, haven't we?
Yeah, which is good. It's different.
It is.
Yeah, like the stream. Like the stream before you go. Definitely like the stream. Lick it, kiss it, do whatever makes you feel good. It would make
Bend
me
it,
feel good if
twist
you
it.
liked the stream before you left. George, Rudy, Duncan, Prashkufka, Flower Girl. I don't believe you, Jeremy, Edgar, Michael, Yara. I saw Yara in here. Ramsey, Jonathan, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Rich, I appreciate you, my friend. I hope you have a good night.
You too.
Rest, good sleep. I'm going to get dressed up really warm. I'm going for my run. I'm determined. Otherwise, I'll just sit here and waste and rot my night away. And I don't want to do that. I have to become more conscious of my time, and I don't want to be giving it away for no reason at all. So thanks everyone for being here. We love you. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Night.